Bill Bedenbaugh talked to the media also about the player development and some of these younger guys, again, putting that trust in these younger guys and how they've earned trust in a lot of ways. He talked about Eddie Pierre-Louis and how he's being more flexible. He kind of needs a little bit better pad level, Bill Bedenbaugh mentioned. And, kind of talking about his eyes and his hands, how he can improve. And that's the scary thing about Eddie Pierre-Louis is that he has room to improve, and he's already a monster. Bill B loves the physical, the hard playing that you get from Eddie Pierre-Louis. But he also talked about how sometimes he can get a little bit out of control, needs a little bit kind of control that aggression, because you don't want to have a huge play and then become Michael Orr and drive a guy through the back of the end zone and then have to back that play back up, or get too aggressive and get penalties called on you for whatever the case may be. So he has kind of talked a little bit about that, which again, you love to. That's why I like Bill Bedenbaugh. I think Brent Venables does the same thing, where they will talk about some flaws that they see in their guys that they want to work on, and that's a good one to have. To control your aggression, I think that's a good problem to have. Love to hear that from Bill B about Eddie Pierre-Louis. Coach Bedenbaugh also talked about Troy Everett, kind of talking about his leadership and how he has been an unquestionable, big-time leader in that offensive line group, and how he's gotten bigger, stronger. He's right around that 315-pound mark, playing really the best since arriving here in this fall camp. And that being said, he's still going through some competition as well, and we've mentioned that here on the show. So, definitely something to look at there with Troy Everett. Again, a guy that we want to bounce back and we want to have a big season this year. And we're excited to see what he's able to put together. Bill Bedenbaugh also mentioned Derek Simmons when he was talking to the media. Derek Simmons, kind of how big, athletic. I mean, he's a big dude. Seeing him next to somebody, I haven't seen Derek Simmons in person. I don't think. Trying to think back. I don't think I've seen him in person to be able to compare myself to him, but I've been able to compare other people that I have been next to in person and seeing his size. I mean, he's a monster of a human being. And Bill Bedenbaugh kind of talked about that, and also how athletic he is, how intelligent he is, his high football IQ, talking about that and how he's learning this offense really well. Absolutely love to hear that from Derek Simmons, the transfer that came in and kind of adjusting to that SEC competition. When you're going against that defensive line, you're going to get used to SEC competition, because that is the definition of an SEC defensive line. So Derek Simmons coming along pretty well, according to Bill Bedenbaugh, as well as Jacob Sexton, how he has improved quite a bit in the pass sets early in camp, and he's kind of done a lot. And of course, he needs to kind of work on that consistency. Bill Bedenbaugh kind of talked about that with Jacob Sexton's in his game is that he needs to kind of remove some of that inconsistency from his games, making sure that he doesn't do something right on one play, but then screw it up the next, and just focusing on, again, one play at a time, focusing on that one thing that you've got to do each play, rather than trying to jump ahead of yourself. Just focus on that consistency. And that was a big thing to note about Jacob Sexton. And he even mentioned, again, talking about that trust and earning trust with the younger guys specifically. He talked about the freshmen with Michael Fasusi and Ryan Foje, and talking about how they are not afraid. They're not afraid of getting in there, getting in and getting dirty. And they're not afraid of the competition. They're confident young guys, and they're learning quickly. And they both just turned 18 not too long ago. And he talked about how impressive they are for their age, and how he really feels like they're ready. They're ready to get in there and get their hands dirty and do something. It's a matter of, will they? Probably not this season, but it very well, you could see them on the field though. Especially when we talk about some of these smaller teams that Oklahoma is going to be going against, like Illinois State or Temple or Kent State. You could see those younger guys step up and make an impact, especially some of these freshmen like Ryan Foje and Michael Fasusi. Been hearing a lot of good things out of them from camp, and even more good things coming from Coach Bill Bedenbaugh.